I'm thinking I'm just gonna do a warm-up set with this, Callaway. Put some numbers down, lay them down, so to speak, and then we'll hit this thing basically for the first time, sight unseen. I don't even wanna know anything about it. How about we hit first, learn later? I'm gonna hit. I'm hitting. Okay. Pretty good. Okay. Yes. This midriff thing is really starting to mess with my head. I think I'm not swinging as hard because I'm concerned that my midriff will be exposed. I didn't wear a shirt underneath. Why didn't you wear? I don't know, man. There we go. Okay. This driver is good. This is a good driver. Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, these are good. I feel like that's plenty. We just need a baseline, right? Okay, so here's the Wilson. Yes, I've hit, what I hit, 6 balls with this 10 minutes ago. It looks very good. It's very carbon fiber. It looks kind of like, it looks like the Mizuno driver in shape, but it kind of looks like a Cobra driver with how they've done the top line. So it looks fine. Looks fine. It looks a little bit upright, which I don't love. Okay. Yeah, it's taking me a little getting used to. I think it just sits, I don't know, I hate to say it, but it sits closed and upright at address, which is, I hate to be that guy that gets picky about things like that. Okay, also good. A little bit low on the face, but good result. Probably the best sounding non-major driver brand. How's that? A brand that isn't a top 5 driver company, let's be honest, they aren't. I would say with that in mind, it sounds and feels about as good as any. Okay, starting to get the hang of it. Must be a very forward CG, maybe a high CG driver, because that was thin, but it still spun very low. Obviously the launch is low because I hit it low in the face, but it's good. Okay, it's good. There's something I'm going to say that I wasn't expecting to say. It kind of feels like it's very draw biased in a weird way. It's very low spin, and it's kind of draw biased. I don't know why. Maybe it's the way it sits or something internally. Not the worst thing. I mean, a driver that's slightly draw biased and low spin is good for a lot of people. But it's not bad. Try to hit up on that a bit more. That's better. There, it's as good as I can do. Okay, it's a good set. So normally what I would see when a ball overdraws, and it's not terrible, but it's probably in the right rough, so it's not great. Normally what I would see is that this face to path number would be quite a bit more closed. It would be closer to this number. So if this was like 4 degrees closed or even 3.5 at my speed, I would say, hey, that's my fault. But this, if anything, normally this would produce a small push. So it's mostly just that the dynamic loft is very low. And it's funny, it's actually a bit of a low strike, which usually kicks the spin up. So it's interesting, I don't know. And that's why I'm glad I didn't read too much about this, but clearly this is a very low spin design. The overdraw is more to do with it being on the edge of spin than it is to do with face angle. I would have to do what I did on the second ball right afterwards, which is, I mean, more or less just try to hit up on it more and try to retain a bit more of the loft, and then it peaks higher. Obviously it goes further, and it's on line, whereas the other one overdrew. So I would have to adjust to this a little bit. Mentally, is it because the face, in my personal view, sits a little bit more closed and upright? Maybe, but it could sit closed and upright and be a high spin driver, and then this wouldn't matter so much. So I think it's the combination of the two. Technically, The ball speed is almost the same on average as the Callaway. Callaway launches way higher, spins a little bit more at the same loft. But this is basically showing you kind of a driver that actually fits me pretty well. That launch and spin's nice. Carry on average 308 with that one. The carry on the Wilson's lower because the ball flight is a lot lower. The dynamic loft was 2.4 higher. So this fits me well. This I would need, I think, as we stand right now, 10.5 degrees of this set maybe a little bit open, maybe half degree open, to get similar launch conditions to what I have here. I kind of handpicked two drives, the best with each. If you look at them, Callaway is significantly higher and a little bit more leftward down the left side. Wilson's significantly lower and a little bit more down the right side. I would say that's a pretty accurate representation. Okay, so pretty much every other driver I'm going to review this year, I will have had at least 2-3 months with, either hitting it myself or like with clients in lessons and fittings. This one, honestly, on purpose, I just kind of wanted to hit without knowing anything about it. It literally showed up in a box. We went, hey, this looks cool. Let's build a nice shaft into it, which we did, and let's hit it in a review. But I didn't want to know too much, because sometimes when I know too, like if I had read, hey, this thing is a little low spin draw bias, my brain immediately is going to be like, oh no, I probably am not going to be able to hit this 9-degree well. So it's harder to be objective at times when you know too much. The minute I open their website and click on the driver, I'm just realizing that I have the Carbon model, which is not even the lowest spin one. So yes, this would be more fade biased, which is good. I think that would be good for me, but I would need it in more loft. But interestingly enough, just the 9-degree of the Carbon, which is supposed to be more the mid-spin model, is a very low spin club. You can get a left-handed 9-degree of the LS. So I hate to say it, but the chances of me being able to hit an even lower spin version of this, whether it's fade biased or not, in 9-degree are low. So that's one thing you will notice with some of these companies that are, let's call it up and coming, trying to get market share, is they don't usually have as many options for heads and lofts. And that's okay. I get it. They're trying to get themselves into the market. What are the chances of someone needing the highest lofted low spin model? You know, I would be a bit of a weird fit in that sense. This costs the same as what Cobra's charging right now. So Cobra's $549 US, this is $549 US. I think that's obviously a good choice. I mean, if they had gone in the price category of, call it Titleist and TaylorMade and Ping, I think that would have been a mistake, obviously. So at the moment in the shop, I think we're carrying 9 or 10 brands of drivers, something like that. Wilson is not currently one of them. After today, would I consider getting myself a Wilson account and carrying these? Yes, I would. Based on today's initial test, exciting news. I think that we will seek out a Wilson account. We like their irons already. They have nice irons, they have nice wedges. And I think if the woods and drivers are as good as they seem to be, it would be a worthwhile addition here at the Golf Liberty studio.